Anyone around here speak basketball?
There it is.
It's the Confederacy of Dunks Basketball Podcast.
Trust in Messiah. Welcome to the Confederacy of Dunks Basketball Podcast. I am your host, Freddie Rivas, and who, good sir, are you?
I am the producer. I'm Matt Duncan. I'm quite sweaty right now, as you can see on the YouTube link. If you're watching that, no AC here right now, so we're doing our best during this heat wave. And Fred, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I went from hot to hot. I came back from South Carolina, safe, but hot. It was hot there, and it's very hot here in Toronto. So we're rocking a heat wave.
Yeah, it's been pretty hot. Definitely not South Carolina hot. I mean, I experienced it in May. Well, you got married in May, right?
I did get married in May.
Yeah, so it was pretty hot then. And I remember some locals being like, you wait until August.
Yeah. And you were like, how about I'll leave before then?
Yeah.
Because August is unbearable. It was mostly good. It started heating up like hardcore the last couple days. And a lot of swimming in hot water.
Oh yeah, the ocean must have been hot, eh?
It was truly hot.
Oh man. Soup.
Soupy.
Yeah, but thanks everybody for listening to the Kyle Lowry tribute episode. Getting a lot of great feedback on it, and we had a lot of fun doing it, from the great content to the guests to the little interstitials that we did of Kyle's press conferences over the past. I feel like it's something that maybe you're not ready for the Kyle Lowry tribute yet, but it's there for you when you're ready. It'll be there.
That's beautiful, Matt. You were a star. That episode was, dare I say, perhaps our best. It was, such a fun to do, and such a great listen. I enjoyed listening to that. When I was away, and getting emotional about Kyle, and I think we honored him well.
I think so.
The schedule has been released. We know he's coming back on February 3rd, and just to cover the bases here, we are a Raptors podcast. We're an NBA podcast. We're both comedians and actors, and just maniacs. And we're not analysts, but we do know a lot, and we have some analysts on from time to time. And we appreciate you listening to us, and all the feedback and growth recently has been major appreciated. Matt, if people want to help us out, go the extra mile, support us in any way, how are they going to do that?
You can check us out at dunkspodcast.com. You can also go to the sonarnetwork.com. That is our podcast network that we are a part of. In these episode descriptions, click on the guest's name if you want to, see their Instagram and their Twitter handles and stuff, as well as other episodes they've been on of our show, as well as other shows on the network. And as well, click our link trees on Instagram. We've got, links to our YouTube. We've got our Patreon if you would like to join that. If you'd like to shell out a couple of bucks to help us, put towards the production of the show, that would be great. And as well, it's hot. It's real hot to be talking about Tukes, but I'm pretty sure Freddie's got them there. Still
got them.
There's no moth holes in them. They're anti-itch. They're actually might have a cooling sensation. If we might put some kind of gel on the inside for hot days like this. You can wear a toque whenever, be a real jughead out there, if I may say.
Yep. Maddie, that's a wonderful toque pitch. No promises on gel inside the toques, but we do promise that they're being taken care of. No moth holes, I can guarantee that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, as long as there's no moth holes.
Hell yeah. I mean, Maddie, I feel like should we get going on this app or what?
I think so. I think that would be a great idea.
Well, God dang it, right? As that bowling dude said when he won it all and kind of got slurry.
Who do you think you are? I am.
Yeah. Who do you think you
Right.
are? I am. Shout out, one of the best clips of all time. But before, sorry, I'll say this. We got amazing guests, Antony Hall and Sheldon Alexander. It's a really fun pod. We talk about Barnes and the hype around OG, also the return of the Raptors, best point guard in the league, and who's gonna kind of shoot up and who's gonna drop in the standings, and of course we do some quickish questions.
Yeah.
And I think before we get going, I'll say, as I always do, defund the police, Black Lives Matter, stop Asian hate. And an election's coming up, everyone. Climate change is on the docket. Everything's on the docket.
Yeah.
Email your city councilors. This is very important. Know your writing, I'll also add. But with that, I feel like we are good to go. Matt, if you feel like we're ready, please just give me those sweet words. Okay. Okay, let's get going here on the pod. I'm very excited to get this going. It's been a little while since we were talking live Raptors ball. Thanks for everyone who listened to our Groat Kyle Lowry episode. It was very fun, and we appreciate all the feedback. But basketball never sleeps, so let's get going. Guest number one, he's done the pod a bunch of times. Hilarious dude, amazing improviser. You probably know him from Ming's Dynasty. You might listen to his podcast, Book It Vince. He is also a hardcore ball fan, the Ball family, LeVar, LaMelo, LiAngelo now, and Lonzo. Give it up as loud as you can, even if you're at home alone, for Antony Hall.
Oh, yeah. The NBA is coming back, and 2 balls are good, but 3 balls is great.
Yeah, man. Cheers to the 3-ball reference. That I jumped straight to Total Recall, where the woman has 3 breasts. Don't know why.
One of them is named LaMelo, the other one is named Lonzo, and the third one is LiAngelo.
How you doing, man? Thanks for coming back.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm very happy to be back. Obviously, this is one of my favorite podcasts to guest on, and I love to chop it up with all of y'all about basketball and Raptors specifically. So thank you for having me back.
Yeah, man. Let's chop it up, and let's bring on guest number 2, because we need to chop it up quick. He's amazing. He's done the pod, I think maybe 3 times now. I feel lucky every time he does it because his basketball knowledge is fantastic. He made up the Ball on Blast network, and he is known for the Wrap It Up pod. Give it up as loud as you can, even if you're at home alone, for Sheldon Alexander.
I like the gentleman's clap. I like that. I appreciate that. And then it breaks down a little. I like it.
Yeah, I feel like
I'd also like to say I enjoy everything about the Ball family as well. For the record.
Oh, good.
For the record.
Okay, I'm gonna have to add that to your intro. There's more than one Ball fan, and there's 4 family members that are famous. So I feel like they need all the fans they can get, right?
Hey, it all started with LeVar. Can't forget about LeVar.
LeVar to me is like just. I never even wasted any time disliking him because I was like, this guy is pure entertainment. Like, what do you want? You know?
Exactly. Yes. If you were getting offended or upset at LeVar Ball, that's on you. That's a you problem.
100%. Like him and it was Stephen A. Smith where that was like a classic interview.
Straight WWE wrestling promos, right?
Yes,
so good.
yes.
And I mean,
I think all major sports need overbearing father figures as well, just to keep things going.
Well, hold on. LeVar Ball much more involved and much more entertaining than Mitch Marner's dad, who just ripped off the Leafs for nothing. And we hear so much about Mitch Marner's dad. Like, who cares?
Let's talk about the balls more.
Yeah, did Mitch Marner argue with Stephen A. Smith about how he could easily beat Michael Jordan? Probably not.
Nah. Paul Morner is not arguing that he could beat Wayne Gretzky in a game of one-on-one shinny. I tell you that much.
He should. That would be fun and weird, Okay, let's hop right into it and start talking some Raptors ball. Maddie, I know you're there. I trust you're there. Please, good sir, give me your most delicious Raptors sting.
Freddie, just before you ask for that sting, I think that I'd like to start this sting off because it's the last time we get to play it.
Okay.
In honor of one of our great centers that is no longer on the team. If you could, if you got a hat, if you could take it off for the Australian national anthem.
This sting goes out to the top undrafted player in Raptors history, Aaron Barnes. Australians all let hearts rejoice.
It's the whole anthem, guys. Huge.
Well played.
Later, Barnes.
There's part of me that's gonna miss Aaron Baines. I can't lie.
Oh, me too. Because also, if we really, really struggle, the Aaron Baines excuse is kind of gone. And just shout out to Matt because I feel like he's officially gone rogue.
I like it.
That was amazing. Aaron Baines, was not amazing, but in all seriousness, I hope he's okay because that the whole Olympic story was very scary.
Yeah, that's true.
And I took it to a serious place. But, yeah, let's.
But shout out to Team Australia, though. What an amazing performance. And Patty Mills, who all of a sudden becomes the best player in the world during the Olympics and any international basketball. The man cannot miss from down under.
Patty Mills, yeah, he'll be a big addition to Brooklyn, I think. Like that guy can shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's talk some Raptors. Let me go to you first, Sheldon. And I just kind of want to get like your take. I don't know how much summer league you were able to watch, but just your what you're feeling about Scottie Barnes. Obviously, it was the whole Suggs Barnes thing when he got drafted, but now he's a Raptor and we're seeing him play. So yeah, just let me know what you think about like Barnes and his fit on the team, and then I guess if there was any other standouts to you at summer league.
So first thing about Summer League, to me, this was the first time in a long time in which I was so excited for Summer League. And I guess it's because the Raptors haven't drafted this high and had a guy that you're expecting to make immediate impact right away. But I was, keeping track of when Summer League was on and kind of scheduling things around to make sure I could watch that. And I think Scottie Barnes, because of the Suggs Barnes debate that you just mentioned, that added another level to it. For me, I'll be honest, I can't say I'm like the biggest fan of the Scottie Barnes pick. Not because I think that he's not going to be good, but more so because to me, I just was hoping that if you get the fourth pick, you're hoping to get a bigger impact player. A player that will make a bigger impact on your team, if not right away, but maybe somewhere down the line being like a cornerstone of your franchise. Could he be that? I don't know. Maybe. But people who are telling you they think that now, I think are just lying, right? It's just wishful thinking. So how did he do? I thought he did all right. And to me, I think where he fits into the team, where you could see him fitting into the team, he could be a bench player right away. He could have some impact. I think he'll be all right. Like, I don't think he's a bust. I don't think that's a thing or will be a thing. But overall, I think he had a solid performance. To me, though, I was more impressed with Malachi because I think that quieted the Suggs talk, at least for me and in my group text of people going crazy, Raptors fans. But Malachi Flynn showing you that there was another level in terms of his development is continuing, right? He was able to take charge, and it's Summer League, so you don't want to take too much, but you expect to see something from Summer League if you're Malachi Flynn coming into that second season where you're going to get minutes and you're expected to take up a bulk of the backup point guard minutes.
Yeah, I think Malachi is a great answer, and you threw the obvious caveat that it is Summer League. But I think he looked, very in control. His shot looked good. I thought, like he was seemed like he was doing some nice kind of like teardrop action.
He looks super confident.
Yeah, he looks super confident, and I think like, I mean, it's hard to say for sure what rubs off on anyone, but I think Kyle Lowry and Fred tutelage is probably really good if you're a point guard that is, you know, going to get some responsibility. He's also not that young, so I feel like I was really encouraged by Malachi because it seems like he's ready for serious backup minutes.
I totally agree. Totally.
Yeah.
Agree. I think that's part of the reason why they didn't take Suggs, right? Like they just had a lot of confidence in Malachi's development that, okay, Suggs, I don't think anyone thinks Suggs is going to be a superstar, right? Like there's hope, obviously, but I don't think that's the case. And if you pay attention to how Masai Ujiri and this front office has drafted, they've definitely favored more the long, athletic, 6'8", 6'9", you know, type of wing player who can kind of do it all. That's how they built this team. So if you're putting up that as opposed to a guard, which in their minds, Fred's undrafted, Malachi Flynn they got in the second round. So if you're Masai, you're looking at the 4 spot and thinking, well, why do we need to take Suggs here? We can fill that spot somewhere else. Can't argue with that.
Yeah. I'm just to echo that point. I think you're exactly right. And I think they have confidence in Gary Trent Jr., Fred as the lead point guard, and Malachi. And I think they looked at a guy like Scottie Barnes, and they were like, he can't shoot? Cool. We heard that about OG, and we heard that about Pascal. So we can teach him how to shoot. You can't teach someone how to be 6'9" and have insane dimensions. And again, like I think Suggs looks fantastic. Like so I'm not one of the people who is like, oh yeah, Barnes is like a for sure all-star since like I believe in Masai, believe in Bobby, trust them both. I think they're going to integrate Barnes. And I think you also hit it. Like he seems like good enough that like he for sure won't be a bust. He might take some time, and he's already good enough to be like a key contributor off the bench. We'll see how long Pascal misses, and that might be key as well. Mm-hmm. Antony, before I say who kind of like Malachi, I think might be like the right choice, but I have like someone I'm excited about, so I'll save it just in case you say it. But yeah, Antony, what do you think about Barnes? What do you think about who else stood out to you?
Okay, so I, of course, was on the Suggs wagon as well. I was very, very, very excited for him to be a Toronto Raptor. I followed his last NCAA tournament run. I made a meme of My Heart Will Go On, synced up with his buzzer beater in the NCAA tournament, and I was just so excited to get him. I was firing it off in all my fantasy group chats. I was like, I can't wait for him to be here. And when he made that pick, or when Masai made pick and boys and got Barnes, I was like, I can't believe you've done this. My dreams, everything just in front of me was shattering. It was like in Inception when the world just folds, and my dreams and all of these amazing moments of me watching Suggs in the flesh at the Scotiabank, they were all just fading away. And it took me a lot of time to reevaluate my feelings, and then watching Scottie play and seeing, how much he wants to be in Toronto. This is appealing more to the emotional side of being a Raptors fan. I think seeing his social media presence and how he really wants to get involved with the fans, and he's reaching out, he's making fun videos, he's happy. That really makes me come to his sort of defense when it comes to that pick being him at number 4. And he showed immense improvement in his offense, I think, already. Like, I think his shot already looks different from college. And I like that he has remarkable length, and you're talking about his dimensions. He's got really good defense, and I love that he's got the aggression to finish close to the basket. It's not the most consistent right now, which is something that I don't love, but I think it's there, and he wants it. He wants it, and when he gets those like consistent finishes at the rim, we're gonna like that. And when he takes the threes and he makes them, we're gonna like that. So Barnes, unlimited potential, but I am still very, very sad about Suggs not being in a Raptors uni.
Fair. Is there anyone? Were you able to catch a bunch of summer league or any? Like, is there any guys?
Yeah.
That stood out to you?
Yeah, I love watching Summer League because I get to see all of like the lottery picks and some other random dudes that come over from Europe and stuff like that play. And you get to see who might be a contributor in the next season. And for the Raptors, I loved watching Rexdale's finest, the first Canadian drafted by the Raptors, Delano Blanton. He's one of those guys, the plethora of 6'8", 6'9" players that we now have on the roster, where we could just roll out a starting five that's all 6'9" dudes, and that was really fun. He really impressed me, and Ish Wainwright, he came over from Europe, and I think he played at Baylor College. He was really, really good as well. He just had really relentless hustle, and that made me very, very impressed. And he played well defensively, had some key steals. And Matt Morgan, who played on Raptors 905 last year, he crushed it. He's a baller too. He reminds me of sort of like an Olympic Patty Mills, where he will just like pull up from three, like pretty much limitless range, and just like sink him. And I think he's going to be a key guy if he sticks on the big squad to bring energy and to get some baskets coming off the bench. So those are the guys from the Raptors that I really, really was impressed with in Summer League.
Hell yeah. And I'll just add to the Ish Wainwright, I think is interesting guy. Like I didn't know this happened that much anymore, but he also played tight end for Baylor. He played for their football team. So I'm like, oh, no wonder, like, because he doesn't necessarily have that like classic basketball body. Like he looks like totally like a truck. And
yes.
I wonder what this guy is like. Why is he so jacked? But also a football player. And I'll just say my guy wasn't named, but it's Precious. I think Masai wanted him, and Miami didn't want to give him up. And I feel like I can see why. Like he can bring the ball up. He looks like, I guess maybe he'll struggle against, the huge centers in the NBA, but I don't think he's going to struggle defending against anyone else. Like maybe again, I'm trying to get too high on him. Like maybe he'll be a foul machine, but he just looks like he can do a lot of things. He can face up. He hit some threes. Like he just looks like he has a lot of different types of skills. So the fact that was Masai's main target also kind of gives me confidence. And the relentless energy too. Like we have a wicked rebounder. We have a lob threat. And as a Raptor fan, I don't remember the last time we really had that. Like, I mean,
when Miami drafted him. Yeah. And when Miami drafted him, I was like pretty heartbroken because I thought that he belonged on a team that didn't already have a guy like that. Because I remember, I think when I was on this pod, I was like, oh, it's amazing that Miami has two BAMs now. And like, luckily, we got to take him away. And also, he has a bunch of siblings that have incredible names. So shout out to the Achua family, especially God's Gift Achua.
Yes, I've checked the names. There's some pretty incredible names. But wait, Sheldon, were you going to add something on?
No,
Precious?
I was just going to say that I love that you brought up Precious Achua because he's almost like the forgotten person of this Raptors off season. And what I mean by that is there's so much focus on Scottie Barnes coming in. There's so much focus on Kyle Lowry leaving, where in reality, Kyle Lowry was going to leave for free.
Right.
So now you're bringing in someone who most likely will start for the team. And beyond that, I see him falling into that like Raptors fan favorite guy who's going to like rile up the crowd with his energy and heart and, making all those hustle plays that we know the Toronto crowd loves and falls for all the time. And just seems to be, it's a great story. It's a good player and he is still super young. So there's room to grow, room to develop as well. Like that's a steal for Masai Ujiri. We will look back on this move of getting Precious Achua in a sign and trade that, Kyle Lowry and them probably sorted out from the trade deadline, but Miami probably didn't want to give up Precious. They wanted to keep him for the playoff run, which they didn't really have. But do you know what I mean? you got this guy for nothing. That's incredible. That's incredible.
Totally. And I think, like, you know, I mean, watching just another summer league shout out, like Tyrese Maxey from Philly, who was rumored. He looked great. I'm not sure how I feel about Tyler Hero. He's also still young, but I'm really excited about Precious. He's also 21. So I feel like, and I think I'm not too sure. I'll correct myself on the next pod if I'm wrong, but he went to Memphis on some kind of like all sports scholarship and wasn't originally even on the basketball team, and just like was also still a one and done. So this guy's like a total freak athlete.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, Anthony, let's move to you, or kind of stick with you actually. And yeah, I just want to. I've been seeing a lot of OG stuff, like all the summer videos are coming out. Ben Simmons now, OG doing some crossovers, and you know, people are talking about him being a breakout player. There's rumors about him being traded, which I think are a bit silly. But yeah, is he our obvious breakout player, or is there, you know, am I being cute with this question? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think that if we look at the squad, the person who's going to need to make the biggest jump offensively, specifically for the Raptors to experience success this year, is going to be OG. I don't think you're getting too cute with the question. I think we also we were singing Malachi Flynn's praises earlier, and I think he needs to also step in and get some of those buckets, because, you know, Kyle Lowry was, you know, he was a scoring guy. He would like hoist up key shots at moments where we needed a basket, and I don't want to see Fred VanVleet try to do that all the time. So I think we should like spread that out a bit. Let's see Gary Trent get his money's worth, you know? Like let's see him get those baskets to earn that contract, and let's also see who can step in and get some of those chances where Siakam was, you know, meant to be scoring, because like he's out till what, like November, so somebody's got to step in and get buckets. And one of the major problems that I found with the Raptors last year was there wasn't enough scoring from a bunch of people. There was scoring from a few guys, and I think we need to spread out the scoring, and I think everybody has to, you know, pull their weight, and especially the guys who got extensions. Like, let's see them get those buckets. That's it.
Yeah, great point. I feel like our half court offense has been struggling for a little while, and Trent, yeah, you're getting paid 18 now, and you're basically the only guy, you know, in the starting lineup that isn't like I would say, fairly spectacular defender. So you better take 7 threes a game.
And make them.
yeah, exactly. Like,
yeah,
because you're gonna have to shoot a lot and you're gonna have to score a lot, which I think he seems pretty down with. So, yeah, Sheldon, is there any other breakout candidates? Like, do you think OG is the main one?
Yeah, for me, it's got to be OG, in the sense that the last few years, I feel like we've been hearing, "Oh, this is OG's breakout year. This is OG's breakout year." And for me personally, I'm not the leader of the OG bandwagon, right? Like, I think OG's a solid player. I think he's a really good 3-and-D guy. His defense is incredible, but it's time to like see the offensive development now, right? The consistent scoring. He's done a good job in developing that 3-point shot to where you almost are surprised now when he misses one of those wide open threes, right? Because you know how great the Raptors offense is when the ball movement is going, and he's always in that spot to get the wide open threes. He's done a great job of being a consistent 3-point shooter in that sense. But the way that the Raptors team is constructed right now, and especially with Pascal Siakam out, you need OG Anunoby to score consistently. And it's not even so much about a breakout, it's just necessity. If that doesn't happen, this team is back in the lottery. That's just what it is, especially without Pascal. And you mentioned Freddie, Freddie's super interesting to me, because last year I was super impressed with him, even though I thought a lot of people weren't, because they were paying attention to his numbers, right? Like, his shooting numbers weren't really that good, and he'd have some really ugly shooting games. But to me, the way that I watched Freddie last year was he knew that he had to score in and around 20 points every night to give the team a chance to win. And so that meant forcing up some shots. That meant, you know, trying to do a little too much, doing a little bit more than his resume indicates that he's able to do at that point, right? So if OG does develop, you're moving Freddie back into, Freddie being a guy who can hit those open shots. Freddie's a guy who, doesn't have to initiate every single thing. So the two guys you mentioned, I thought that was perfect. It's OG and Gary Trent Jr., especially with Pascal not being there. You need to be able to get someone who can create their own shot for for themselves. And I got to see it from OG this year. I'm tired of hearing it every year going into a Raptors season. Is this the year OG breaks out?
Yeah.
It's like it's time to just see it.
Do it. Okay, you touched on two things I like totally agree with, and this is where I was going with this question because, Anthony, thanks for saying this isn't too cute of a question because I feel like, here's where I'm coming from. I feel like OG is going to get better at his role, but I wonder if he'll be able to create enough for himself and others. Like I feel like he's going to be a reliable scorer, but I still see him in the mold of like his peak version being some kind of like, Ron Artest, meta world peace, like just a out of this world defender and like super solid on offense. But I guess I doubt some of the creation. And then Sheldon, you hit on Fred, and I think Fred has breakout potential, which might seem weird because he's already like this known guy, but he was almost an all-star last year. He dropped a 54-point game against Orlando, but I really think that he's going to blow up in the assist department. I think he's going to go from 6 to like 9 or 10 assists a game, and it's going to be his team even more than Pascal's, especially if Pascal's coming in late. And I just feel like he's going to be, he already is like the straw that stirs the drink, but I feel like now he'll be a bit more relaxed. And it's not that like playing with Kyle was bad for him, but I feel like now he's going to be the smallest guy in the court at all times. And he's going to have like more lob options. I just think that Fred is going to have the full package around him. And I don't know if this is blasphemy for some people, but I feel like some of what you saw from Trae Young in the Atlanta Hawks, you're going to see from Fred. Not that high level of offense, but, a little bit lower or maybe quite a bit lower on offense, but with incredible point guard defense still. So that's why I think Fred, for me, he has all-star potential, if the team is in the playoff hunt. And, also to your point, I think if OG doesn't show up and your point, Anthony, if Trent doesn't show up, we'll be struggling to make the playoffs. And it's a young team. So I think, people are going to have to be patient or they're going to be upset, I think. But let's get a bit silly here. Maddie D, would you please join us? I think I just want to ride the excitement of us coming back to Scotiabank. It seems like it's a for sure thing now. I'm starting to think about like what opening day is going to be like. So I want to hear what you guys like, what you would do if opening day was yours, and it like the entertainment was on you. Let's start with you, Anthony.
Oh, good. Is there any question that opening day does not include Drake? He has to be there, right? If he is as Toronto as he says he is, if he really cares about this team, this city, he's gonna be there. He's gonna light it up, and it's gotta be Drake. I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at for opening day entertainment. And also, we've been through a hell of a lot through this year. Small businesses, especially Toronto restaurants, have suffered. Let's line up a bunch of food trucks with some of our favorite Toronto restaurants in Jurassic Park. Let's have a good old-fashioned party. You can get all the people in Jurassic Park watching the home opener. You can have good food from our Toronto restaurants that we know and love. And Drizzy, show up. Pull up, hang out, just stay a while.
Okay, that's a perfect answer. And my brain immediately went to, if Drake shows up, do you think Kanye and Pusha T will show up too? Like, there's a chance, right? Like
there's a chance.
Because I feel like things are bubbling. Sheldon, what's your perfect like opening day? Like, what would you do?
I totally agree. My answer was going to be the exact same thing because I feel like when you think about how robbed we were from the Raptors championship parade, that we never got the Drake performance that was supposed to happen at the end of that parade, and then everything that happened since, this whole thing about the team being back home in Toronto in front of fans. The guy never performed at All-Star Weekend, which still doesn't make any sense at all to me. I don't understand how that was a thing that happened. So now you're coming back after a year not being in Toronto. How does he not hit us with a little performance? It could be close to album time. I mean, he's delayed the album for how long anyways? What better way to promote the album could you come up with than, hey, we're going to promote whatever the lead single is to start off the Raptors game, to start off the Raptors season, to, you know, do the player intros or whatever it is. I just think there's such an opportunity there, and it's such a big deal because we know what this fan base is like, and we also remember how crappy it was to watch the team play in Orlando last year. Right? Like, it was so terrible. That was in Tampa. Sorry, Orlando. Yeah. In Tampa, right? Like, it was so bad. So they got to come up with something big. I saw what the Jays did for their first game back, and I thought that was all right. Like, that was cool. It wasn't, you know, they just had a cool video, had them come out of center field, all that. Like, it looked cool, but you need something a little bigger. Like, let's bring out Drake and the Biebs or something. Like, bring out all the stops, all the Toronto legends, the Weekend, everybody. Bring out everybody.
Bring them out 100%. And yeah, like, I feel like the Weekend, he hasn't integrated himself. Or maybe, I guess he's kind of like, well, he was already big, but it almost seems like he's like super blown up since we've been away, right? Because he had the last Super Bowl. Yeah. That's a pretty perfect answer. I feel like, Matt, pressure's on you, but I know it's going to be super silly with you. I imagine Chuck Hayes will be involved. Maybe a snowblower. I don't know. What's up, Matt? What's your perfect opening day?
This is what I would do. Okay, now all the fans are in there. Fred, you won the lottery to choose whatever tickets, you know, your season seats. You're going to game one. You're excited. Freddie, you're there. You're waiting. Everyone's waiting for the team to come out. They haven't even come out to practice. It's just the other team they're practicing. Where is the team? They're not there.
Okay.
Goes dark. On the screen, we see the whole team. They're on a roller coaster. And on the front of that roller coaster, it says Busch Gardens. Everyone starts booing. They're pissed. Oh, no, they're back in Tampa again. They said they were playing here. And then Masai crawls onto the front of the roller coaster, rips off the Busch Gardens, and reveals that it's the Leviathan from Wonderland. And then this roller coaster goes off the rails. It's sailing down the 400, merging onto the 401 to the DVP, and they come right into the arena in the Leviathan roller coaster. Get off, start taking shots. And then the other thing I'll just say is Sorta Shawarma's free all night for the fans.
No, that's for me. Sorta Shawarma's free for me. And in the spirit of Drake, I feel like you named a lot of Toronto locations.
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful.
Well, yeah, mine's maybe the worst answer, but I just feel like I have to go to Masai's press conference, and like every time I watch that guy speak, it's just like nonstop inspirational quotes. So, I mean, you know, I thought I'd throw this out for you too, Anthony. A little bit of wrestling. You know, maybe you have like the inflatable raptor comes out, and they bring out like some kind of like mock police officer, like that guy who was in Oakland, and Masai just comes out and gives him like a full rock bottom, like right in the middle, and does like the people's elbow, but like runs the whole length, like the whole 94 feet. Drops an elbow. Maybe that guy can like disappear into the earth or something. You know, whatever. But then after that, Masai just starts looking at random people in the crowd and giving them inspirational quotes. That's I just feel like he could just do some you know, inspirational poetry for like 10 minutes, and that's what I would want. And I mean, yeah, but mine's probably the worst, but I'll throw in some sort of shawarma for me too. Okay.
Osmos all night, everybody.
Yeah, some Osmos.
Does Norm get to come back then?
Yeah.
Yeah, Norm comes back. One night only. Osmos all night. Let's go. Chicken on the rocks. Let's go.
Understanding the grind of Osmos. Cool. Well, I think we're good to move on. Talk some NBA. I always mess this part up, but Maddie, do I need to do a little bit of a sting here, or should I pause, or what?
Yeah, just let's take a quick break, and then you can ask for a sting.
Okay. We're going to take a quick break. And we took the break. Okay, Maddie, please, good sir, give me your most delicious Adam Silver sounding foghorn, whatever you got. Sting.
This is Adam Silver.
Oh, man.
National Basketball Association.
I feel like Matt just waits for me to jump the gun, and then he throws in the national or the RTZ sound effect. Yeah, this I think is actually this question's more interesting than I thought, even when I originally asked it, because I feel like it's fairly debatable. Let's go to you first, Sheldon. Yeah, who do you think is the best point guard in the NBA?
So I know the right answer is probably Steph Curry, but I'm always going to go with Dame over Steph. I'm always going to go with, I know people are going to hate on me for this answer, but I will die on this hill. I'll always go with Russ as well.
Oh my God, I love it.
Here's my thing. Dame Lillard, right? If Dame Lillard was on, like we saw last season what Steph could do without Clay. He almost dragged that team into the playoffs on his own, which is something that I didn't think was possible. But here's the thing. We've seen Dame Lillard already do that and get a team into the playoffs and, in fact, win around in the playoffs, with CJ McCollum being the best player on his team. We've already seen Russell Westbrook get a team that was worse than the Golden State team last year and get a team into the playoffs. So, I mean, Steph's numbers were great last year, and it was great to see it close the gap, I'll say. But is there anything more entertaining in the NBA right now than Dame time? Like, if that gets sent out in the group text, hey, the Blazers are down 6 with 2 minutes left, and Dame just hit back-to-back threes. Aren't you dropping everything that's going on right now to flip over to the game to see Dame time? Nothing better in the NBA right now than Dame time.
Yeah, I have a backup, but my answer was also Dame, and I did the Steph Dame debate, and you'll see my backup I feel like is a bit of a stretch, but I can't help but agree with you. Dame is he's just ridiculous, and I feel like your point with Steph is well taken too, as far as like his team, because there's a lot of redundancy on the Blazers, and I think I'm not a fan of like blowing up or trading good players just because you're desperate, but I do think that CJ, Norm, even to a lesser degree, are they're score first people, and I think I would really like to see Dame with a bunch of defenders, or like just because he's got the scoring, like he's got that, like he could do that, and I think he is the best point guard in the NBA. I'm sure there's other kind of cute answers. I got one, but Anthony, let's go to you first. Are you Dame as well, or do you got somebody else?
I think I am Dame over Steph as well, but I have a cute answer for this. I'm unapologetically a Chris Paul fan, and I think no matter what team he goes to, he elevates them to a level that is not possible without Chris Paul. And we saw that last year with Phoenix. We saw that when he was in OKC. We've seen that when he was with the guys at the Clippers. Like, come on. Like, he's amazing. He facilitates. He helps sort of enhance the offensive talents of all the people that are around him. Like, is there any doubt that Chris Paul is one of the elite point guards in the league? I don't know if there is. and he's my fave to watch, and I love to see the supporting cast that is around him, and I'm surprised that he didn't go anywhere else to see if he could, have another reclamation project, but I think he wants to give the Suns another crack, and I'm excited to see what he brings.
Okay, we all must be very in sync because my cute answer was Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Well, I think the reason I chose Dame is because I just feel like, is Chris Paul really going to do that again? That's my own, but I mean, I'm just like doubting him at this point, and I've said it so many times on the podcast, but he's one of my best basketball lessons because I was just triumphantly wrong. When it was the Deron Williams, Chris Paul debate, I told a bunch of people that I thought Williams was better and would be better. So it's just like it's a triumphantly bad take that's ages worse every time Chris Paul plays more. And yeah, I mean, to watch what he did with OKC and be like, wow, that's crazy, swan song. And then be like, actually, not at all. And also that he chose to go to Phoenix and made it work. All your points are just, well said. Like this guy is an absolute winner. People forget that, the team that came the closest to beating the full strength Warriors was him and Harden and the Rockets. And he got injured. The Warriors, like, I'm not a big, like, excuse maker injury in the playoffs. Like, for instance, I think the Raptors earned their title and the Warriors earned their title that year. And, health is part of the game. But, man, the Rockets look good. And I feel like they really could have beat them. Not saying they would. But, yeah, Chris Paul, just incredible game manager. And, we were talking about it earlier. But I think, Luka Doncic deserves some love here. But I don't know if we're all kind of like just a bit wait and see on Doncic. Like, he's been amazing in the playoffs, but I feel like, it does kind of hurt when you haven't gotten past the first round yet. But I don't know. Do you guys have anything to add on the Doncic thing? Like, is he in this conversation?
Yeah, I mean, I was wondering if we do consider him a point guard, but I mean, if he is the primary ball handler, the guy who's facilitating most of the plays on offense, then I suppose that he is a point guard. I also would like to say that he pretty much single-handedly dragged the Slovenian national team to the depths of the Olympic basketball tournament. So, I mean, that says something for itself. I mean, not to discount any of the other very talented Slovenian basketball athletes, but you got Luka Doncic, and you got to hitch your trailer to Luka and let him drag you to the destination.
I love your international shout-outs. I'm waiting for you to shout out Fournier going off for France. But yeah, no, it's so fun to see NBA players internationally because they're usually like featured quite heavily, and you can kind of see them do so much more. And it just reminds you, like, wow, the NBA is crazy talented and, at times political because it's about how you run the offense, who you run it through. People are counting their touches. To Sheldon's point earlier, just like throwing out some love for Russ. I'm one of the people who, especially as this goes further along, like, I don't really think it's going to go poorly. I feel like Russ is a really good player that at some point people kind of turned on. Perhaps because he's not a top 5 or 10 player anymore. But I don't know. He's really, really good, even, in Washington. And I guess, there's efficiency issues, of course. But I'm excited to see what the Lakers can do. And I think Russ is going to have a good season. Anthony, let's stick with you for this last question before we do the quickish questions. And it's just like a turnaround question. I'm looking at the standings now. Who do you think is going to have like the biggest turnaround, like bad or good?
Okay, so I'll give you my quick answers. I think the team that might actually be the worst next year compared to this year is the Sixers, because if they don't figure out this Ben Simmons stuff, that's going to be a huge distraction on them. And if he takes the court and he's not trying and he basically makes Embiid look bad, like that could go real south real fast. And then the team I think is going to make the most drastic change in the positive direction is the team that added Lonzo Ball and DeMar DeRozan in the offseason. That is the Chicago Bulls, baby. Let me tell you this starting five in my mind.
Sure.
We got Lonzo. We got DeRozan. We got Zach LaVine. We got Vucevic. We got Patrick Williams. Woo! Sounds like a team that can win some games if you're asking me.
Yeah. And I know people are talking about the Bulls defense, but I mean, I think I just started looking into some of the Florida guys because of Barnes, and Patrick Williams can defend. That guy can really defend, and I think that's kind of seems to be like what Florida really produces. I don't know if that dates all the way back to Noah and Horford, but yeah, Florida guys can play some D for sure. I like those answers. I feel like, yeah, maybe we'll both do like a positive, negative because it's too fun. Sheldon, if that's putting you too much on the spot and you only got one answer, that's cool too. But
no, I mean,
yeah,
it's funny because my one answer was the Sixers, and it's mostly from the viewpoint of I am very anti Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid to me has never been like when is Joel Embiid going to be healthy for a full season in playoffs? Right? Like it's not going to happen. And so now he re-ups on this new contract. You add in what you said with the Ben Simmons stuff, which even if they make a trade at this point, okay, so you're bringing in someone brand new. I'm just waiting every year and I'm knocking on wood because I don't want to see someone get hurt. But that Joel Embiid injury, like his injury health or injury consistency, like it's just going to get even worse the older that he gets. And if last year was his best MVP year and we still saw him break down in the middle of the regular season, he came back, he played okay in the playoffs, he played well, right? But let's be honest, if it wasn't for Ben Simmons's just no-shows, did Joel Embiid really play that well? Like he played okay, but it's still not to the level that we're being told Joel Embiid, the all-star or the not all-star, regular season MVP contender that everyone was telling us for the whole year. I just don't buy it. And so if they're now building their team around Joel Embiid, yeah, that's not going to go well. And eventually it's going to catch up to the Sixers and their process will officially be dead soon.
Ooh, I love any jab at the process. I truly do. Especially since, I remember the Riggin for Wiggins year. And, for people who tout the process, it's like we have, like, in that time had the best time ever and won a championship. So your process is not selling me as a tortured fan, who got a ring.
Look at the guys who they got. They got Joel Embiid only because he was hurt in college, so he fell to them in the draft, right? Ben Simmons they're about to trade because he's still afraid to shoot. Markelle Fultz was their other number one pick who they already traded off. So, like, what was the process? Really?
Yeah.
What was it? You lost to the Hawks. That's embarrassing. Like, let's really break this down. What happened in the playoffs last year? They lost to the Atlanta Hawks. And I know that Trae Young was a great, like, happy story, and it was cool to see. Yeah, it was cool to see. We were all happy to see it. But you can't lose to the Atlanta Hawks in the play. Like, nah, they're not there yet. The Hawks aren't there yet. That's whack. Joel Embiid got lucky that Ben Simmons no-showed.
I think this Embiid critique is a bit new for me because I feel like people aren't critiquing Embiid too much, but I don't know. I can only say it's fair because if you're that level, they were first in the East. Like even the fact that it got to 7 games. There were some pretty epic collapses on the way. And, I know people have some, criticism of Doc Rivers and tight games, whatever. If you're Embiid and, you're kind of like exuding like I'm an MVP, it's like, well, that was absolutely not what an MVP would do. I can't imagine the critique on Giannis if you were to lose to a team like the Hawks.
Well, those first half, second half splits in the games that the Sixers blew, Embiid was horrible in the second half, right? Like we forget that now again because we keep seeing the highlight of Ben Simmons being afraid to dunk. under the basket. But Joel Embiid in the second half of a bunch of those games they blew to the Hawks did not play well at all.
Yeah, no, I think that's totally fair. So mine are basically, I think this might be okay. I want to say the Raptors because I just don't think they're going to have 27 wins again. Like I feel like there was a lot of contributing factors to them having that kind of record. However, I don't know if they'll make enough of a jump. And plus, we already talked Raptors. I don't want to be too homery. I think that the Wolves might finally, make it to the play-in, which would be a huge improvement for them. I think I've never been as low on Towns as so many others. I think he had a remarkably unlucky year last year and sad year as well. And I also like the young guy. I like Edwards, and I think Russell maybe is a bit not fitting to be like the main ball handler guy, but we've seen him light it up before. And I think Minnesota, it's the West, so I'm hesitant to say that they'll actually have a really good record, but I could see them being like a very improved team that's a little less of a joke. And for my team that's going to drop, also in the West, I think it's the Clippers. And I think I'm just going to say, I doubt that Kawhi's going to rush back. And I doubt that when he does come back, he's going to play every game. And I feel like that's going to be incredibly difficult in the West when you have a guy like Kawhi that, I don't know, if it's an 82-game season, how many games is he going to play? 30? 25? ACL, we know he doesn't take, his injuries lightly. And we also know he's not going to rush back for anyone. So I think a lot's going to be on PG. Looks like Ibaka is also kind of, banged up and is back. I don't know if he's having surgery. I just think the West is really, really competitive. And, I'm not sure about the Clippers. And, they got Bledsoe. I'm not sure if he'll help either. I just don't see where the high-level competition is coming from the Clippers. Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if they didn't make the playoffs. And I feel like that's maybe a wild take, but Kawhi is just a really, really important player on your team to miss for such a massive chunk of the season.
Yeah, it's all on Paul George and your boy Reggie Jackson.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, actually, shout out to Paul George I think it was a bunch of guys who kind of proved themselves in the playoffs, who people have been talking shit about. And Paul George was amazing. I thought Paul George was incredible. But yeah, again, the West is just so competitive and there's a lot of teams coming. So I'm not sure. But so Minnesota for me and the Clippers. But let's get a little bit silly again and do some quickish questions. What's up, you guys? Ready for some quickish questions?
Oh, hell yeah.
Sure. Why not?
Why not, right? Okay, Maddie, hit me with that quickish questions sting.
Quickish Questions!
Okay, Maddie's gonna pop in here. I don't know if his AC's working.
Oh no,
he's sweating. He's ready. I am gonna ask you some questions as quick as I possibly can. I might stutter, slur, get confused, misread a comma. That's okay. You have to answer as quickly as you possibly can. No phoning a friend. No repeating the question back to me, Matt, or
no
checking if the AC works. I'm just being a dick to Matt. He's the best. Okay, let's do Sheldon. We'll do Sheldon, Antony, Matt.
Okay.
Okay, let's go. Sheldon, favorite Kobe moment.
Ooh. The game winner in the playoffs against the Phoenix Suns, where he hits that game winner, pulls the jersey aside, and just starts beating the chest. That was just incredible.
It was insane. I love you, Steve Nash. Sorry you had to deal with that.
Yeah. That was a tough one.
It was a tough one. Antony, how many points should a dunk actually be worth?
This is tough. I think if it's a highlight-worthy dunk, it should be worth 4 points.
Okay.
Whoa.
I like that.
If you get a windmill, like from the foul line, I'm giving you 4 points.
Fair.
Maddie, I always tell
Yeah.
people I'll read every question, and I think this is perhaps a poor attempt at a troll, but I'm going for it anyways.
Okay.
And I know you love Chuck Hayes, so how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? That's the question.
How much wood could a woodchuck? Oh boy. That's a great question. I think I'm gonna say 2 chords.
Okay, wow. Thanks for taking that question so seriously. Sheldon, who from the Raptors impressed you the most in Summer League? I guess we touched on it a bit, but is there anybody else?
I'm sticking with Malachi. Everyone else, it's like, at least when Malachi was playing, he was playing against the other team's like top prospects. Like when you're playing against the Knicks, you're playing against Quickly, who's also going to get major burns in the NBA. Once you get past that and you're talking about the benches of Summer League, I'm kind of like, not sure how much stock I'm gonna put into that. So I'm gonna stick with Malachi Flynn and say that he impressed me the most.
Very fair. Antony, if we can watch live games at the Scotiabank Arena again this coming season, which game would you buy tickets to?
The Kyle Lowry comeback, hands down. I wanna see that game. I want to see the comeback of Toronto's big booty, Kyle Lowry.
February 3rd, we'll all want to be there. Yeah.
Mark your calendars.
Mark it down. Maddie,
Yes.
are you satisfied with the Raptors lineup? If not, what changes do you think should be made?
I am pretty satisfied. I think that the team being healthy and Siakam coming back, I think it'd be fun to see what this team could do. I don't know. I like that we have Kem Birch and Precious at center and stuff. It's like, give him a shot, because I think we can wait before we have to make all these kind of crazy adjustments with a very busy Eastern Conference now. So
Fair.
you know what I mean?
Well, there's 2 questions left, so I think I'm just going to make them both a double all play.
Whoa.
So let's do this. Sheldon, will we make any more moves?
Ooh. No, I think this is a team they're going in with. Someone leaked the whole Siakam trade rumor stuff is done. So, yeah, this is a squad for this season, at least, until the trade deadline.
Yeah. Antony, will we make more moves?
I don't think so, but in my mind, in a fantasy of mine, we trade for Damian Lillard. I don't know how it works, but Dame time is coming to the 6, baby.
Whoa.
Oh, wow. That would
Trade
be
everybody.
the best. Yeah.
Trade everybody.
We'd have to trade a lot of people, but it would be worth it. Maddie, will we make any more moves?
Yes, but I do agree that we're going into the season with this team, and I think there will be some kind of move before the trade deadline, but I just feel like Masai's got something up his sleeve a little bit here. So I'm going to say by November, December, there'll be something.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling that too. Some tinkering perhaps.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's our last all play. Sheldon, give us the elevator pitch for a basketball movie you want to make.
Ooh. First off, sorry, I'm gonna change my previous answer and say yes. They're gonna trade Goran Dragic.
That's what I was
yeah.
Draft.
I know.
Yeah, while you're
I forgot he was on the team.
Yeah,
I
but
forgot about him.
But it's because we've already programmed into our minds that he's going to Dallas in that deal.
Yeah.
But yes.
Oh,
So
God.
the elevator pitch for the movie that I would want to make, I want to see the modern day He Got Game. So it's like He Got Game 2, he got game 2, but for this generation, the millennial generation. So you're adding in things like, what would social media be like for Jesus Shuttlesworth as this high school superstar going on all these recruiting trips? And what would that be like? What would it be like his relationship with his dad in this era now where the dad would have this huge disconnect with his son who's so emotional listening to Drake's Marvin Room and all that. You know what I mean? How would that work? All these different things. He got game 2.0.
I love it. That's amazing. Anthony, what's your elevator pitch basketball movie?
Okay, may I have 2, please? They're very quick.
I like it.
Okay, my first one, I've mentioned this previously on the podcast. I would like to see Safdie Brothers directed Uncut Gems style movie of Dennis Rodman's Vegas weekend. We got Carmen Electra. We got all of the celebrities around that time partying with Dennis as he gets all of his bad juju out before getting another championship. So that is one of them. Rodman Uncut Gems. The second one is an NBA Mighty Ducks. So we get a basically a highly touted recruit or a man who is part of maybe like a Michigan team or something like that. He misses the last shot of the NCAA tournament. His life is in ruins. He maybe gets a DUI and he's sent to like a rural town in Michigan where he has to put together a high school basketball team that has lost every game in the previous season, and he tries to win the state championship with them. So boom, basketball Mighty Ducks and Rodman Gems. We got it. Make them. Studios, call me. I'm available.
Wow.
Uncut Worm.
Uncut Worm. Yes. Oh my God. That would be. I mean, that you guys' ideas are fantastic. Maddie, what's up?
Well, Anthony, you did take a little bit of my idea because my first thought was a Dennis Rodman biopic. I would love to see that. Like, let's cover all the bases. You know, the Vegas weekend, him growing up, playing for the Pistons, all of it. But the other thing that I would like to see is, remember the cartoon show when some of us were kids? Maybe that I can't remember if it was called Pro Shots or whatever, but it was Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky, and what was it called?
Oh yeah,
was it Pro Shots?
Pro Stars?
Pro Stars?
I think.
I can't really remember. It's something like that.
Yeah.
So it's live action, and we're getting the real guys. I want Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, and Bo Jackson.
I was going to say Bo Jackson, right?
What's that?
It was Bo Jackson was the other guy, right?
Yeah, Bo Jackson. So those three guys doing like a live action remake of that show now as like old dudes.
I love it. Live action too would be very funny. I'm just gonna offer mine with no explanation. Flubber 2 basketball game on Mars.
Wow, yeah,
that's mine.
course.
That's mine.
More flubber for you always.
Who's in it?
Oh man,
don't worry about it. Lots of flubber. Guys, that's it. We made it to the end of the pod. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for everyone who's been listening, supporting. Like really, really appreciate it. All the good feedback or the positive feedback about the Kyle Lowry episode, we also appreciate. Let me go to you first, Anthony. What's up? What are you doing? What do you want people to know about?
All right. Well, something very exciting is I've been working on a podcast with a team of very, very talented people that is launching August 30th on the Sonar Network. It's a podcast about food and comedy called Bites and Bits. It's hosted by two amazing comedians, Matt Malin and Hisham Kaladi, with music by Ryan Sheedy and produced by Aaron Conway. I've been writing on the show, coming up with some segments. It's a wonderful balance and pairing of comedy, all of the fun things that comedians think of, and all of the bits and some bites, some really amazing Toronto food being featured in the podcast. And we talk about cooking, we talk about recipes, we talk about all of the things food related. So keep your eyes peeled. That's August 30th for Bites and Bits on the Sonar Network.
Amazing. What a
welcome
crew.
to Sonar. Okay, welcome.
It's going to be fantastic. Yeah, Sheldon, what's up? What do you want people to know about?
So we got the On Blast Podcast Network is where you can find everything. We got our Raptors pod, which should be coming back again this season, wrap it up. We got basketball pods, football pods. We have like an MTV challenge podcast, bunch of stuff we got there.
Nice.
And then we got the normal day job. I mean, basketball, the Raptors are about to pick back up. So the day job, we're doing the openings for the Raptors broadcast this year. So that should be a lot of fun, trying to do a bunch of different things, integrate some Toronto music into that and all that. So that should be fun. Lots going on.
Shit, man. Well, thank you so much. Like, I always appreciate you doing the pod. And and you're busy. And everyone, please check out everything Sheldon's doing. Check out everything Anthony's doing. Maddie, I think that's it for us, and thanks again to everyone else. If you feel like we're done and we're good to go, please, sir, just give me those sweet words. Okay.
This podcast has been brought to you by the Sonar Network.